must be some memorable stories that you remember going back in your past that will never get out of your head when you shake it.
Well, I can tell, just starting off with, you know, the number of meetings. I don't think there will be any other reporter that will cover or has covered as many meetings as I have, especially city and county council, or traveled the kilometers in the city and county, going from place to place. But as far as stories, you know, just meeting the people, covering different events. I remember when back in the so-called old days, when the city council would start meeting in the afternoon, take a lunch break or a dinner break, and then, you know, the dinner break would also include drinks. And councilors coming back, two of them got into a fisticuff in a parking lot right just outside City Hall. And
over what? Do you remember what the issue was?
It wasn't anything, you know, that interesting, but it had to do with, you know, what was taking place at the meeting.
Whoa!
And they just went at it.
And you were there watching it?
We watched it. Yes, we covered it. But after that, you know, the fight was broken up, and they went back to the meeting and on with business.
Boy, oh boy, just to help the ratings on TV Kojiko, I've got an idea. But boy, wouldn't that been interesting?
Yeah.
I guess, sorry, go ahead.
No, then in the snowstorm election, where people went to bed thinking it was Frank Wansborough, the winner, but there was a ballot box that didn't make it on time, and when they counted that overnight, and the next morning it officially was called in favor of Burt Weeks.
Wow! And that's a story to cover. I mean,
yeah, that was big.
Did you know that there was still one out?
We didn't know until later, as the night progressed. But I can tell you that Frank went to bed thinking he had won again.
Oh. Interesting. So when you look at some of the things, tell us about a day of a reporter. For those that are going into it, want to go into it, but a day in the life of a reporter, say in the last, say, 10, 20 years, how did you know what to how did you know what to cover? What's the process in how Gino would end up being in a car and attending an event?
I'm not your normal reporter.
Well, that's why we have you on the show.
Usually I'd be self-assigning. It would be up to me to decide what to cover. You know, every Monday night, I tell you, I'd be at the city council meeting.
And county council.
And county council every first and third Wednesdays of the month. Then you had your other meetings in between, like Essex Region Conservation Authority, also your Amherstburg councils and Leamington, and I'd be covering them. I'd look at the agenda to see, you know, what's on there, what's of interest, and I could be covering a city council meeting. If it ended early, I'd rush to Amherstburg to see what was going on there, and then I go to Kingsville and then even end up in Leamington.
Wow!
And then I get back and do my stories, and so I wouldn't leave the newsroom until 3, 4 in the morning.